We have come here collectively today to condemn the Manville Police Department. The Manville Police Department, in my opinion, is one of the most racist, corrupt departments in the state of Texas. Amen. What they did to these two respectable young black men is a disgrace to all of us as black people. These two brothers are the same type of brothers that we fight in our community to produce.
African Americans, or the Negro people, have been through so much in this country. We've had a mighty long walk, and we've walked a long way. But we've had a lot of atrocities happen to us in this country. We've survived the Elaine Massacre, the Jackson State Massacre. We survived the Devil's Punch Bowl. We survived so many different things. Rosewood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Countless black men, women, and children being hung by the state, set on fire. We've survived so many of those things within our story. But there's one thing that's not being talked about in today's time when we're supposed to have this racial utopia, and it's the W woman accusing black men of rape. And that's something that was occurring a lot, in the days of old, and it's still happening now. But you had two black men in the state of Texas. One was a detective, police detective, and another one was an upstanding, hard-working black man. And they got with this woman. And they both had sex with this woman. And this woman turned around and accused both of these men of rape. But before we get into that story, you guys remember the Central Park Five? When this woman had some things happen to her, and the police grabbed these 5 black men and hauled them into jail and put them in jail for a long time? Or what about the Groveland Four? The Groveland Four were 4 young men that was accused of rape back in the 40s, 50s, and they were put in jail. One of them was even murdered before he even got a chance to stand trial. These were just 4 boys. What about George Steiny and so many others of the past that they try to erase from history? But this is what happened with the Groveland Four when they were finally exonerated.
Sure, and this building behind me, this is the Lake County Museum right now, but back in the 1940s, it was the courthouse, and it's where the case of the Groveland Four first was heard. Today, it's where family members celebrated as their innocence was returned to them, and in court, family members also broke down when the word came down. Those were tears after a judge agreed to dismiss the case against the Groveland Four this morning. The young men, Charles Greenlee, Sam Shepard, Walter Irvin, and Ernest Thomas, had been accused back in 1949 of raping a woman. Thomas was even killed by a posse before he was even arrested. The rest eventually did get convicted at trial, despite evidence that authorities now say was fabricated and part of a conspiracy cooked up by then Lake County Sheriff Willis McCall.
Then we get to the young brother Emmett Till, who in 1955 was accused of whistling at a W woman, and he was brutally unalived. He was accused of whistling at this W woman down there. He was visiting family in Mississippi from Chicago, and we know how the South was, the segregated South at that time. But this happened.
Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the white woman who accused Emmett Till of making advances towards her, has died. 14-year-old Emmett Till was kidnapped and brutally murdered by Bryant's then-husband and his half-brother in Mississippi in 1955 over the allegation. The 2 men were acquitted in his killing by an all-white jury, but later confessed in an interview. The case gained national attention after Emmett Till's mother allowed Jet magazine to take and publish photos of her son's mutilated body in an open casket. The horrific image shocked the nation and served as the catalyst for the civil rights movement. Years after Till's death, Dunham admitted to fabricating parts of her story, although she was never charged with a crime.
The story of Emmett Till went national and international, and it was the catalyst for the civil rights movement. Also, the Scottsboro Boys, what happened to Reese Teller, and so many more. I can go on and on and on and on. But then we get to John Marks and Freddie Douglass. John Marks was a homeowner down in the town in Texas. And this will happen to these two.
And sues white neighbor after being falsely accused. That's right. John Marks on the left. Okay. There he is. 40-year-old black man has filed civil rights lawsuit against the city of Manville, Texas, and its police officers, alleging he was falsely arrested for sexually assaulting his white neighbor. The lawsuit claims that on November 9, 2023, Marks and his friend, 43-year-old Freddie Douglas Jr. in the center, had consensual sex with Amanda Zarusinski.
And we found out that John Marks was in a sexual relationship with this woman for some months. And at some point in the relationship, Freddie Douglas joined in. And there was two brothers just thunderstroking this woman. And at some point, she went to the police and yelled "grape," which a lot of them do. And the sad part is they have a history of doing this. This is not me hating or me saying something that's not true. This is American history. And to this day, a lot of brothers still like to go over to those women and they will beat me up, argue with me, man, do all kinds of things with me to defend this woman. After all of the things, these are not Pookies and Ray Rays, but this is what happened to them after she went to the police.
The beneficent, the merciful. We bear witness there's but one God to whom praise is due forever. We have come here collectively today to condemn the Manville Police Department. The Manville Police Department, in my opinion, is one of the most racist, corrupt departments in the state of Texas. Amen. What they did to these two respectable young black men is a disgrace to all of us as black people. These two brothers are the same type of brothers that we fight in our community to produce. These young brothers, they're not that young, but young enough. These are the kind of young men we inspire to produce from our community. And when they do everything right, when they follow the line, when they follow the law, they don't commit unlawful acts. When they're not criminals, all it takes is one white woman to say out of her mouth, "I was raped by two black men at this police department," and then these cops never even questioned these two gentlemen. They never even interviewed these two gentlemen. I'm gonna say it again. She came and called them and told them she was raped, and they went and got arrest warrants for both men. These brothers never been in trouble, no criminal history. One, a police detective. You mean to tell me she come and say this about a police detective, and yet you don't even interview the man? You get a warrant for his arrest on the spot? Surely I don't believe had a black woman come up here and told them the two white men raped me, and one is a police detective and neither have a criminal history of violence or anything, that they would go and process arrest warrants for him without ever interviewing both men. This police department and the chief should resign. He should never be allowed to be a chief in this city again. They conducted a bona fide investigation only after they had arrested both men.
So now John Marks was arrested, charged with SA assault and a whole host of crimes that could have got him from 5 years to 99 years in prison. Freddie Douglas was fired and also charged. But there was some get back around March 2023 where these guys were smart because they had video footage of her getting the BBC, the thunderstroke. They had it on video. And I don't know what happened in between the time afterwards, which would make her go to the police and take these guys through all the things that they took them through. But a W woman's tears and accusations. These were two upstanding men without police records. One was fired, a police officer, never interviewed, fired from the police department. Another brother, a homeowner. And as the brother Cornell X said, these were men that we were aspiring to produce. Well, I will say this. We may be, but not with the mindset that they have. We have to get back to loving each other, loving your brother, wanting for your brother what you want for yourself, loving your sister. When are we going to learn? Stay away from a lot of those W people, man. They're not your friend. History shows this is not hate. This is American history. I have history on my side to prove all of these things, so many different things, man. Now, I wonder if that was a black woman and a situation happened with her and she accused two W men, would they have moved as fast as they did like that? So now they have a lawsuit against this town in Texas. But they say in the videotape, you can see her engaging in you know, grown-up activities in the pool with John Marks. And then sometime later, she let Mr. Douglas clap as well. Then they have video of her walking through the house with no clothes on, while the other brothers was just chilling in the pool. So at some point, the DA decided to drop the charges, and now they have a civil suit against the town in Texas. But I just hope that you brothers out there can learn, because y'all make so many excuses for these women. You guys, a lot of you guys out there hate sisters so much that you're willing to overlook over 400 years of history. Oh, there's no way in the world our sisters could ever be as bad or even match what these women have done to us, our fathers and grandfathers, and to our brothers today, still historically and now. This is unbelievable. 2024, this is still happening. When are y'all gonna learn? When are y'all gonna learn? So I'm gonna cut this video short here, man. Listen, if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.